9 cracked ribs, and a broken scapula. 22nd, 22nd Thailand Rob. Still getting over a cold. Trying a new lapel mic out, and it's got me really nervous as I'm walking down the road here because I really don't have any idea if this is being recorded or not, because I bought this lapel mic for about $4, and that's what you get. You get what you pay for, right? Anyway, since it was almost free, actually no, it was only like $2, $2 US for this thing, free shipping included. Cross the street, don't get hit. All right. So, what I want to talk to you about today was, it's not a promotion for per se. The video is not sponsored by any insurance company, but like in my last video, I did want to mention about insurance. And ironically, this week I had to renew my policy. Not a big deal, you know, once a year. But ironically, 2 days ago, one of my best friends that lives over here was in a very pretty serious motorcycle accident, because it was motorcycle versus car, and we all know who wins in that case. He had his girlfriend on the back. Luckily enough, the birds over here are really not scared. Squirrel. Well, a little bit. I want to come down here and have a little soda, and by soda I mean Leo, and I really should get a promotion with that company and tell you the story about him. Him in the hospital. He doesn't have insurance, and if you want to protect yourself, and well, just give me a second. I'll sit down, okay? So I'm gonna apologize in advance because I still have a little bit of a cough coming off of a cold that I had for the past week, or 4 days. I'm feeling a lot better, but I still have a little bit of cough going on. Not a big deal. Not anything big. It's just a sinus head cold. I'm actually feeling very good. But what happened to my friend the other day, him and his girlfriend were on a holiday trip, and they rented an electronic, it doesn't really matter what kind of bike it was, an electronic bike, EV, electric vehicle, and they were just tooling around. And this is something that's very common. If you've never driven on the streets in Asia, specifically, just stop signs are non-existent pretty much on side roads, and so many people just pull out. They just drive. They sometimes they do it slow, and sometimes they just bolt out. The other day, a guy just bolted out in front of me, and I had to slam on the brakes. He apologized, but it was this close from being an accident. Well, in my friend's case, it wasn't that close. It was actually that close. He was going down the road, girlfriend on the back. Thank goodness they had helmets on. And they're driving. The car pulls out. He hits the horn. He's full horn. And the guy just doesn't stop. So he veered right, thinking that it would buy him some time, or maybe the car would stop. Neither one happened. They both went down. Girlfriend, luckily enough, was only road rash, you know, from hitting the pavement, and no broken anything. He took the brunt of it. He's been in the hospital for a couple of days. He has no insurance. Luckily enough, he can afford to get himself in and out of a hospital within a couple of days like that. So I wanted to bring up the point with me and my renewal of my insurance policy this year, because I didn't have insurance when I was in Thailand for the first six years, until I met Kev in Thailand and saw what he went through when he had to go to the hospital with cancer, and the bills that racked up real quick. I didn't have. Hold on. I'm literally in a drive-thru. So I didn't have any insurance for all those years. And once I saw what happened to Kevin, how quickly the bills piled up just for staying in a room overnight, not only the surgeries are expensive. When I had my surgery is expensive. So that plus the overnight in the room, and then they charge you a la carte for, like any other place in the world now, it seems, unless you're in a really, I need to keep my words, unless you're in a government hospital over here. A government hospital is going to be dirt cheap, but you get what you pay for. So I'm not saying anything bad about a government hospital. If you fall down and you break your leg or your arm or your elbow, go to a government hospital and get a bandage, get a stent, and get cleaned up and go home. But if you've got bigger issues like my friend has, with 9 cracked ribs, broken bones, and they did an MRI on him this morning and found out that he was cleared to be able to leave the hospital today. But 2 days in the hospital. I don't know what the bill is on that because he's not out actually right now. But it's a government hospital, so it's not going to be excruciatingly expensive. But he did tell me that he's going to leave that hospital and get a follow-up appointment at a international hospital. If you watch my channel for any amount of time, that you know that I had 3 operations at once, three different hernias, one single operation last year. In my insurance policy, I have a 40,000 baht deductible, which is around $1,000 US, maybe 1,200 US. And I put that in there because it reduced my insurance policy by so much just to have that in there. And I've got a credit card. I knew that I could afford to use the credit card to pay for that. Just if I don't have to use insurance every year, I just wanted to save a little bit of money. And like this past year, I didn't go in the hospital at all. I got a 10% discount on my, so let me tell you, after the surgery, my premium went up after the surgery because it was a gigantic surgery like any insurance policy does. And this year, even though I went into a higher age bracket, which means the policy price is going to go up, but actually this policy was cheaper than last year's. So I went to a higher tax bracket. I did have surgery. After the surgery, the price of the premium went up. But once I got to another higher level in my age, it still went down. So I'm paying the same thing that I paid. In other words, I'm saying I'm not getting ripped off, is what I'm saying. I'm trying to say it, but it's really hard when you speak insurance terms because I'm not a professional insurance agent, but I do play one on TV. My personal insurance policy, I've got a 5 million baht insurance policy, but I don't have any outpatient. So if I go to the hospital with a boo-boo and I get out the same day, it's out of my pocket. That made the premium go down. My 40,000 baht deductible made the premium go down, and I don't have eye or dental care on my policy. If you want to know what my policy is, it's not a problem at all. It's Maxima, and if you want to go over it, please send me a message in Patreon. But because everyone is different, everyone has different pre-existing conditions. You already know what you have. You already know, and you can't get away. Don't think you're going to get away from the insurance company by not telling them that you had some kind of surgery in 1999. They're going to find it. They do. Before they pay out, they do a big search globally and see if you've had anything going on. After all the pre-existing conditions are checked out and whatnot, they will present to you, before you ever pay anything, what your premium is going to be. It's really, really simple, and you're not obligated for anything. They'll send it to you for free. The link, again, I'll put the link in the comments right there and the description right below. If you need a free quote about what it would be to pay insurance over here, and it's globally, it is not only in Thailand, this insurance is globally, with unless you go to America, then there's a premium kick up in America, and we all know why. Because anyone that's from America knows our healthcare system sucks so bad that even the insurance companies over here say you're going to pay more if you go to America for the treatment. And I completely get it, because America just rapes people when it comes to damn insurance and medical. Oh, it's for such a great country, their healthcare sucks. Excuse me, the healthcare. The providers don't suck. I'm just saying the cost sucks. No offense to you if you work in the business. I'm not talking about the healthcare providers. I'm talking about the system. And anyone that works in the healthcare system over there knows it's a nightmare. I know doctors that have quit the practice just because they lived in America and it was such a nightmare for them to get paid. Literally. So anyway, squirrel, back to the topic of getting insurance. What's going on behind me? Having a party with ice. There we go. So, um, so my friend, he's in the hospital. He's going to be fine. He's financially stable enough to pay for short term. He's probably financially stable enough to have a longer term, like if he was in there for 2 weeks. But that would take a heavy dent out of your savings if you had to stay in the hospital with no insurance at all. And you can get travel insurance. Now, guys, I will say this again about contacting me. If you want to contact me, please, please, please become a Patreon. It's easier for me, and I will see that email before anything on Facebook or anything in emails. I get 27 emails every day from people just wanting me to advertise their products on YouTube. And your emails are getting in there too, and I try my best to answer you within 24 hours. But if you want to get in contact with me and you want me to see it first, yes, please become a Patreon. The link is right there. It's also down in the description. And at the end, it's Fawn holding a cake. You can sign up $5 a month and you have my undivided attention at all times. Enough with the plugging of Patreon. But also, to all of you, that is how I still live in Thailand, is because of Patreons. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the members and Patreons that support this channel. And let's move on. After I saw the bills that piled up with Kev going to the hospital, it was a slap that got me to finally sign up and get insurance, because I have lived on a very tight budget over here ever since I've been over here. Anyone that knows me knows, and I've told this story before, when I first got my motorbike here in Thailand, when I would go down hills, I would turn the engine off to save gas. That's not a joke. I would eat 7-Eleven food, mama noodles, which is ramen. If you don't know what mama noodles are, it's basically packs of ramen like you would buy in America for like 10 cents or whatever they are now. God, with inflation over there, they're probably 25 cents a pack now. So I really didn't think, I really just couldn't afford to go out and just get an insurance policy. And plus, it was 9 years ago when I came over here, I felt like I was invincible. And so I didn't think I needed insurance. But after watching what happened with Kev, I said, you know, I don't want to burden anyone of friends or family in my life when that happens. Because what we had to do for Kev, we had to set up a GoFundMe so he could afford to pay his bills, because he wasn't a multimillionaire. And so we got his bills paid while he was here until he got back into England, where he finally got picked up by the government over there and put into, I don't know what they call it over there, but it's like an assisted living, or it's like a hospice or something. But anyway, they took over once he got back over there. I don't know the rules about that, because America, we don't have a government support. It's not the same like Australia, Canada, England. We just don't have that. So that's new to us. Like hearing about America's healthcare and insurance might be new to you. You don't understand. But if you come to Thailand, I'm telling you, many countries, if you're out of your country for 6 months or a year and you're not in your country, then your healthcare drops. So if you're over here in Thailand and you don't have healthcare, it's all on you when you go to the hospital. And so that could be 23,000 baht a night, depending on which hospital you go to. Government hospital's not that expensive, but that's the ones that I'm saying that are cheaper. But if you go to a high-end like Bummangrad, if you go there, that's going to be expensive. It's going to be 25,000 baht a night just for the room. And that doesn't include all of the stuff that comes with it, or the nursing care, or the room and the food. That's included, room and board, room and food. And you can't take the food away, even if you don't eat. It's built in. Because when I had my hospital stay, I told them, I said, I don't need to eat. And they said, no, sorry. I said, well, if I don't eat, can the bill go down? And they said, no. It comes with the room. You get all the food. So when I got my insurance, I went with Pacific Cross. Yes, I plugged them because they've actually done good by me. When I had my surgery, we got the whole thing qualified and paid for upon delivery. And the last day I was there, the only thing I had to pay was my deductible. And there was a few charges that were out of the coverage, which if you read any insurance policy, you're going to find something that's not included. And so they didn't trick me. It was just little extras that I had to pay for. And that was on me. And that's because I went to the most expensive hospital in all of Southeast Asia, I can't say South India, in all of Thailand, the most expensive hospital is Bumrungrad. And I did choose that hospital. So that's on me. And also I want to say, if you have any specific odd requests, I was going back to the Patreon, going back to talking to me on Patreon, what I meant, going back to talking to me on Patreon, if you have specifics that you think might disqualify you from a normal insurance plan, get in touch with me on Patreon, because I do have other people that I know in the business that can direct you to maybe another place that's more ideal for you. Pacific Cross is not just the only thing here in Thailand. Gonna get tetanus shot now. It's not the only company here, but it's the company that I picked and it's the company that I like. But there are other places for different and specific needs. So, and including car insurance, motorbike insurance. I mean, there's this. If you need insurance information, get in touch with me. I'll let you know. That's enough about this video. I'll let you know how my friend is after he gets out of the hospital, and he's going to be laid up probably for a couple of weeks. It's the end of his holiday, that's for sure. He's going to be laid up with 9 cracked ribs. Oh, and a broken scapula. Yeah, you can't do nothing. That's just a sling. And, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you get a wheelchair, I guess, and wheelchair yourself around, but, guys, I hope you got some information out of this. I really hope it helps out. And if you need any more help, please, as I said, just ask me, and we're all good, and I'll give you all the information I can. And if I don't know it, I can refer you to someone who does. And on that note, see you later. Bye. Yeah.
Oh. Can you take this asshole back to America, please?
Woody, don't forget that.